Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs of 21st of March 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can add into our notes and into our general knowledge facts and enhance in our general knowledge things. So before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you in this sessions, and particularly if we are talking about the current affairs. So I have got some international news, national news, state news, banking, finance news, defense news, science and technology, sports, important days, books and authors. Apart from that, ranks and reports I've got, obituary, awards and recognition, appointment and resignations, and at last, I will summarize all the things for all of you on which topics we are going to discuss the things. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Okay, so first news that we have with us is today Vladimir Putin won the fifth term as the president of Russia. And if we talk about the Russian president, Vladimir Putin has secured a record fifth term by winning the 2024 presidential election with around 88% of the total votes. So remember, he is now won the fifth term as the president of Russia. He is scheduled to be inaugurated on 7th May 2024. With his new 6 years term, Putin became the longest serving president or Soviet leader in history since Joseph Stalin. Putin has previously served as president of Russia from 2000 to 2004, 2004 to 8, 2012 to 18, and 2018 to 24. So only there is a gap between 2008 to 2012, and other than that, almost for all the 24 years he has ruled over Russia. So for the fifth time, he has been elected as the president. Remember his name. The capital of Russia is Moscow, and Russia has turned out to be the largest exporter of crude oil to India. And if we talk about Russia, so Russia basically is in war with Ukraine currently for the acquisition of territories. In 2014, Russia was out of the G7, G8 countries. Earlier, it was known as G8. This year, G8, G7 countries summit was held in Italy. Grid India achieves Mini Ratna status. So, Grid Control of India Limited, that is Grid India, has been conferred with Mini Ratna Category 1 Central Public Sector Enterprise status. The recognition was given by the Ministry of Power, Government of India. Highest Grid India's pivotal role in the nation's power landscape. Achieving Mini Ratna status is a significant milestone for Grid India. So do remember that Grid India achieves the Mini Ratna status recently. And also, if we need to add to something to this, so in 2014, particularly, the 14th Maharatna was recently known as the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So remember that name also. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has been added into the Maharatna as a 14th company. Mineral production in the country grows by 5.9% during the January 2024. So in January 2024, the index of mineral production in the mining and quarrying sector stood at 144.1. This indicates a 5.9% increase compared to the January 2023. The cumulative growth for April, January 2023-2024 over the previous year is recorded at 8.3%. The growth reflects the sector's resilience and expansion. So do remember that minerals production in the country grows by 5.9% during January 2024. And it is a important news as we have to particularly see that what are the particular type of input we can give and what are the particular production things we are doing in minerals. Ministry of Rural Development signs the non-financial memorandum with BFIL to boost livelihood intervention in rural livestock and fisheries sector. So recently, the Ministry of Rural Development has signed a non-financial memorandum of understanding with Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited to enhance livelihood interventions under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Another memorandum was signed with the Abdul Latif Jameel Poverty Action Lab, South Asia, to expand the Samaveshi Ajivika program across India. Union Minister Giriraj Singh and Minister of State Fagan Singh Kulaseth and Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti are key figures in the Ministry of Rural Development. These initiatives aims to improve the rural economy by focusing on livestock and fisheries sector. So do remember that Ministry of Rural Development signs a non-financial memorandum with BFIL to boost livelihood intervention in rural livestock and fisheries sector. MSDE announces exchange of MOUs, strategic initiatives, and launch of new courses. So, the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship unveiled several strategic partnerships to enhance India's skill ecosystem. The minister launched Mock Test 2.0 by the National Instruction Media Institute in 12 languages and introduced four new courses in artificial intelligence and cyber security. Two Center of Excellence in Media and HVAC were inaugurated at the Skill Development Institute in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. MSDE signed 19 MOUs across various departments to foster skill development and entrepreneurship, aiming to transform India into Kushal Bharat, Viksit Bharat. So that has been under the MSDE announces exchange of memorandums, strategic initiatives, and launch of new courses. So do remember, and basically the focus is on artificial intelligence and cyber security. So do remember, the Ministry of Education and Skills is under Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. Cabinet approved rupees 2207.50 crore budgetary support to run CAPF IMS as a campus of AIMS Delhi. MOA signed between CAPF IMS and AIMS. So let's read out that what it is. So the memorandum of association was signed between the Central Armed Police Force Institute of Medical Services and AIMS New Delhi to run the 970 bed super specialty hospital as a campus of AIMS. The Union Cabinet approved budgetary support of rupees 2207.5 crore for this initiative. CAPF IMS hospital will provide healthcare service to CAPF employees, their dependents, pensioners, and other beneficiaries. AIMS faculty and resident doctors will serve as a at CAPF IMS to ensure quality patient care. So do remember, the cabinet has approved rupees 2207.50 crore budgetary support to run CAPF IMS as campus of AIMS Delhi. Maharashtra CM Mr. Eknath Shinde inaugurates India's first LNG powered bus. So Maharashtra Chief Minister Mr. Eknath Shinde inaugurated India's first liquefied natural gas powered bus operated by Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation. MSRTC plans to convert 5,000 diesel vehicles into LNG alternative fuel vehicles in phases. A memorandum was signed with MS King's Gas for the conversion of diesel buses to LNG and the setup of LNG distribution facilities at 90 depots across Maharashtra. LNG vehicles are noticed of for having 30% lower CO2 emissions and 90% lower particulate matter emissions compared to diesel. So particularly for taking the care of things like climate and all these, so a new type of LNG powered buses has been introduced in Maharashtra under the Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation. And if we talk more on this, so Mr. Eknath Shinde, he became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra in 2022 after the bifurcation from the in the particular party called Shiv Sena. And particularly during that time, the BJP, Eknath Shinde sect of Shiv Sena, and NCP sect of Ajit Pawar, they collaborated to form the government in Maharashtra. And recently, in the newly elected government in Maharashtra, again the BJP, the Shiv Sena under Eknath Shinde, and the NCP under Ajit Pawar has created a particular government. So do remember this. And Maharashtra CM Eknath Shinde inaugurates India's first LNG powered buses in Maharashtra. RBI imposes penalties on Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank and DCB Bank. So the highest authority of banking in India, that is RBI, has imposed fines on Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank and DCB Bank. That means they have found some irregularities or something in the particular working or the particular data of these banks. So that is why they have been penalized. Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank was fined rupees 1.31 crore and DCB was faced a penalty of 63.6 lakh. So the penalties were due to non-compliance with directives on interest rates on advances. So as I said, that they must be, this must be due to non-compliance with the guidelines of the RBI. So for that purpose, these penalties has been imposed. Airtel Payment Bank unveils a new way to pay with smartwatch. So Airtel Payment Bank has introduced a new contactless payment solution through smartwatch. The initiative is in collaboration with Noise and Mastercard. The Airtel Payment Bank smartwatch aims to revolutionize digital transactions. It offers convenience and accessibility to urban customers. So remember that Payment Bank unveils a new way to play with the smart watch, and this has been done under this particular thing that it is in collaboration with the Noise and the Mastercard. Axis Mutual Fund partners with Enpara Ding for AI generated learning program. So Axis Mutual Fund has teamed up with the Paradigm for an AI driven experiential learning program. The collaboration aims to enhance the performance and productivity of the Axis MF employees. Tailored learning journeys will be provided across various levels. Axis Mutual Fund is a prominent asset management firm based in Mumbai. So do remember that Axis Mutual Fund partners with and Paradigm for AI generated learning program. DBS Bank India announces 250 million lending support for startups, new economy companies. So DBS Bank India has announced a lending commitment of US dollar 250 million. This support aimed to encourage startups and new economy companies. So particularly now they are focusing on the new type of startups that can be encouraged in India. The initiative demonstrates DBS Bank dedication to fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. India has over 90,000 startups and more than 100 unicorns as of 2024. Unicorn means if a company has the valuation more than $1 billion, then that means this company is unicorn. SEBI Note to T plus 0 settlements for limited stocks eases norms for FPIs. So recently, the Security and Exchange Board of India approved same-day settlement T plus O for 25 scripts with selected brokers. SEBI also introduced measures to bring flexibility for IPOs, alternative investment funds, and foreign portfolio investors. FPIs with over 50% of Indian equity is one group are exempt from extra disclosure if holdings in a listed company stay below 3%. SEBI has also recognized stock exchange as the body for the administration and supervision of research analysts and investment advisors. So do remember that SEBI has not two T plus 0 settlements for limited stocks eases norms for FPIs. CCI, that is the Competition Commission of India, that is responsible for doing two things. One is the merger and one is the particular acquisition, and it is responsible for giving approval to these type of two things. So Competition Commission of India approved the acquisition of Kesoram Cement business from Kesoram Industries Limited by Ultratech Cement Limited. So Kesoram Cement has been acquired by the Ultratech Cement. CCI also approved the acquisition of certain shareholdings of Shriram Investment Holdings Private Limited by Shriram Ownership Trust. Ultratech will acquire Kesoram Grey Cement business through a composite scheme of arrangement. SOT will buy a 9.44% stake in SIHL held by APRN Enterprises Private Limited and another 20% held by Piramal Enterprise Limited. So do remember CCI has approved particular things under the particular acquisition of Kesoram Cement business from Kesoram Industries and some other approvals. India Brazil holds the first 2+2 defense and foreign minister dialogue. So particularly on 14 March, India and Brazil. Brazil is a country, the largest country of South America and the fifth largest country in the world, and particularly the capital is Brasilia, held their first 2+2 secretary level political and military dialogue in New Delhi. The dialogue was co-chaired by Godavarthi Venkata Srinivas and Vishwes Negi from India, and Marcelo Camara and Rear Admiral Fernando de Luca Marcos de Oliveira from Brazil. Discussion covered a variety of subjects, including defense, space energy, critical minerals, and technology and counter-terrorism. This dialogue aims to strengthen bilateral relations and cooperations between the two countries. And remember, what is the language of Brazil? That is not Brazilian. The language is basically Portuguese, the Brazilian Portuguese, you can say. So that's all about it. So remember, India and Brazil are holding 2+2 defense and foreign minister dialogue. And Brazil has recently was also in news when they particularly backed out from the One Belt, One Road initiative of China. And it has become the second country in BRICS that has done that thing so far. So IAS Gorkha Rifles participates in the 10th edition Joint Military Exercise Lamete 2024 in Seychelles. So Indian Army's Gorkha Rifles is participating in the 10th Joint Military Exercise Lamete with the Seychelles Defense Forces. Exercise meaning friendship in Creole started on March 18th. So the what is the meaning of Lamete? It means friendship. So will continue until 27th March. The exercise aims to bolster interoperability in sub-conventional operations within the semi-urban environment. It includes tactical drills, field training, combat discussions, and 2-day validation exercise. So do remember that IAS Indian Army's Gorkha Rifles participate in the 10th edition of Joint Military Exercise Lamete 2024. Indian Army introduces new tech unit STEAK. So, Indian Army launched the Signal Technology Evaluation and Adoption Group aims to enhance communication infrastructure. Recently, the Ukraine Army also became the first army in the world that has introduced a particular unit to operate drones. STEAK unit will be headed by a colonel rank officer from the Corps of Signals and will operate under the Signal Directorate. The unit will focus on technical scouting, evaluation development, management of core information, and communication technology solutions. STEAK aims to boost the Indian Army's capabilities in the digital domain and meet the requirement of modern warfare. So, do remember that Indian Army has introduced a new tech unit called STEAK, that is Signal Technology Evaluation and Adoption Group. The head of the Indian Army, that is the chief of the army staff, is Mr. Upendra Dwivedi, and the CDS is Mr. General Anil Chauhan. Nixie and METI to unveil Bhasha Net portal at UA Day tomorrow for digital inclusion across the nation. So, the National Internet Exchange of India is set to introduce the Bhasha Net portal. The unveiling will take place during the upcoming Universal Acceptance Day. The initiative aims to advance digital inclusion and linguistic diversity in India. The theme for the event is BhashaNet Impetus Towards Universal Acceptance. So do remember that Nixie and METI. Nixie, what is Nixie? National Internet Exchange of India. And what is BhashaNet? So BhashaNet is basically a portal that has been introduced by Nixie and Ministry of Electronics and Information and Technology. REC, PDCL, and BHEL signed a memorandum to develop utility scale renewable energy projects. So, REC, Power Development and Consultancy Limited, and Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited signed a memorandum to join develop utility scale renewable energy projects across India. The aim is to contribute to the nation's clean energy targets through a dedicated special purpose vehicle. SPV will initially focus on catering to the energy requirements of the commercial and industry segment with the capacity of 1 gigawatt. The initiative will play a major role in achieving India's target of 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030 under the Sustainable Development Goals. So do remember that REC, PDCL and BHEL has signed a memorandum to develop the utility scale renewable energy. And remember, what is the target of India to achieve by 2030? That is 500 gigawatt. Third edition of Northeast Games 2024 begins in Nagaland. So the third edition of the Northeast Games 2024 has commenced in Nagaland. The capital is Kohima. Opening ceremony took place at the Regional Center for Sporting Excellence, SOVIMA. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio officially declared the games open. Over 3,000 athletes from 8 northeastern states are competing in 15 disciplines across 12 avenues. So basically, third edition of the Northeastern Games 2024 begins in Nagaland. So remember where it was taking place in? It is taking place in Nagaland this year. International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. So International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination is observed on 21st March every year. The day highlights the negative consequence of racial discrimination. The theme for 2024 is a decade of recognition, justice, and development implementation of the International Decade for People of African Descent. The day serves as a reminder to combat racial discrimination globally. So, do remember that Indian International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination 2024 is being observed on 21st of March, whereas 22nd and 23rd of March are known as the spring vernal equinox. And particularly if we talk about a vernal equinox, it is the day when the spring starts in India. World Poetry Day 2024. So basically when we talk about the World Poetry Day, it is celebrated on 21st March to honor the expression of language. Poetry unites people through shared humanity and values. The theme for 2024 is standing on the shoulders of giants. The theme acknowledges economic writers of the past and spotlights young poets building on that foundation. World Forestry Day. World Forestry Day is celebrated on 21st of March every year. United Nations General Assembly established the day in 2012. The day raises awareness about the vital role of forests and encourages conservation efforts. Forests are crucial for soil retention, water retention, and environmental balance. International Day of Nowruz 2024. So Nowruz marks the first day of the spring and is celebrated on vernal equinox. So if we talk about the Nowruz is also known as the New Year in the particularly the Persian people. And if we talk about Nowruz, so Nowruz was started in India by Balban, the king, one of the famous king of the Ghulam dynasty or slave dynasty or Ilbari dynasty. Over 300 million people worldwide celebrate Nowruz. It has been celebrated for over 3,000 years in various regions, including the Balkan and Central Asia. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 21st March as International Nowruz Day in 2010. So generally, at the starting of the spring, generally is known as the New Year in many particular civilizations, like in India also, if we talk about. So particularly in March and April, we know that Hindu New Year starts. And why it starts? Because this is the time when spring comes. And as soon as spring comes, it will also bring a lot of sunlight to the crops, and that will help these crops growing. So that is why remember that International Day of Nowruz is also celebrated on the day of spring. World Down Syndrome Day. So World Down Syndrome Day is observed on 21st March. Down syndrome is a condition that affects a person physically and mentally. The date represents 21st chromosomes that causes Down syndrome. The United Nations officially announced the observance in 2012. So particularly 21st March is observed as a Down Syndrome Day, and to create awareness regarding the mentally and physical Down syndrome, this day has been dedicated. And the date represents the 21st chromosome that causes Down syndrome. So it is aligned with the 21st date. So remember that as well. World Oral Health Day. So World Oral Health Day observed on 20th of March. WHO calls for action to promote oral health. Oral diseases are among the most common non-communicable diseases worldwide. In 2019, there was an estimate 3.5 billion cases of oral diseases globally. So remember the World Oral Health Day 2024, a call for action. International Day of Happiness. So United Nations International Day of Happiness is observed on 20th March. So remember the Oral Health Day and Happiness Day are aligning with each other. Significance of well-being and happiness on people's life globally. The theme for 2024 is Happier Together. UN General Assembly proclaimed 20th March as the International Day of Happiness in 2012. According to World Happiness Report, Finland has been named as world's happiest country for the 7th consecutive time, while India ranks 126th. UN French Day, French Language Day on 20th of March. So United Nations French Language Day is observed annually on 20th March to celebrate the multilingualism and cultural diversity. The day promotes the equal use for all six official languages of the UN. International organizations of La Francophonie recognize this day as the International Day of La Francophonie. The theme for 2024 is Create, Innovate, Undertake in French. So do remember the UN French Language Day is on 20th of March. SIDBI's CMD S. Raman presented two books to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So S. Raman, Chairman and Managing Director of Small Industrial Development Bank of India, presented two books to the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The books are titled Prabhav and Diagnostic Mapping of Cluster, Charting the Path Ahead Through Intervention. Prabhav is an impact assessment report on the funds for startups released by SIDBI. And diagnostic mapping of cluster identifies the mapping of skills, technology development, and credit gaps as important issues of policy interventions. So SIDBI is a small industrial development bank of India. Basically, it works towards the creating the ecosystem and funding for the micro and small scale enterprises. All India Consumer Price Index numbers for agriculture and rural laborers. So in February 2024, All India Consumer Price Index for agricultural laborers and rural laborers remained stable. Figure were 1258, 1269 respectively based on 1986-87 equal to 100 index. Notable fluctuations were observed among constituent states. 8 states saw a decline in the CPI-AL while 7 experienced a similar trend in the CPI-RL. So remember the consumer price index numbers for the agricultural and rural laborers have been showed in this particular data. Kapil Dev Prasad passed away. So Padam Shri awardee and handloom artist Kapil Dev Prasad passed away. He is a renowned handloom artist from Nalanda district in Bihar. He was known for promoting the traditional art of handloom and received the formal training at the Bihar Sharif Navratan Mahal School. Prasad was honored with Padam Shri Award for Art in 2023 for popularizing Bihar's Buddhist art of weaving Bhavan Suti on sarees. Remember his particular name of sarees, that is Bhavan Suti. So Bhavan Bhuti designs include Buddhist iconographies such as the people, the bull, the lotus, the stoop, the deer, and the elephant. So remember the name, we discussed about him in the last session also. The name is Kapil Dev Prasad. He passed away and he was Padam Shri awardee and handloom artist. Renowned Indian dancer Dr. Uma Rele was honored with the Maharashtra Gaurav Award. So Dr. Uma Rele, the principal of Nalanda Nritya Kala Mahavidyalaya in Mumbai, has been honored with the Maharashtra Gaurav Award. The award was presented by Maharashtra Industrial Minister Uday Samant and Minister Deepak Vasant Kesarkar. Recognition is for her invaluable contribution to Indian classical dance, particularly Bharatnatyam. Dr. Rele is known for her dedication to the art form. Recently, Ratan Tata was also given the award of the P.V. Narasimha Rao Lifetime Achievement Award. Remember that also. So, Indian dancer Dr. Uma Rele was awarded with Maharashtra Gaurav Award. T.M. Krishna selected for Sangeet Kala Nidhi Award of Music Academy. Renowned Carnatic vocalist T.M. Krishna has been selected for Sangeet Kala Nidhi Award, the Music Academy Madras. He is recognized for his powerful voice, adherence to tradition, and using music as tool for social reform. Other awardees include Mohiniyattam exponent Neena Prasad with Nritya Kala Nidhi and Mridangam Guru Professor Prasala Ravi with Sangeet Acharya Awards. Awards will be presented at the 98th Annual Conference and Concerts of the Music Academy between 15 December 2024 and 1st of January 2025. Kiran Rijiju gets additional charge after Pashupati Kumar Paras resigned from Union Cabinet. So Pashupati Kumar Paras, former Union Minister and President of Rashtriya Lok Janta Jan Shakti Party (RLJP), has resigned from the Union Cabinet. His resignation follows exclusion of his party from NDA, that is National Democratic Alliance. seat sharing arrangement in Bihar for the upcoming Lok Sabha election. So there's a dispute between the RLJP and NDA. So that is why this particular uh, Pashupati Kumar Paras has resigned. President Draupadi Murmu accepted his resignation. Kiran Rijiju has been appointed with an additional charge as the Minister of Food Processing Industry, and currently it is held by Chirag Paswan. Let's revise what we have learned. So Vladimir Putin won the fifth term as the president of Russia. Great India achieved Mini Ratna status. Mineral production country grows by 5.9% during January 2024. MORD signs a non-financial MOU with BFIL to boost livelihood intervention in rural livestock and fisheries sector. MSD announces exchange of MOUs, strategic initiatives, launch of new courses. Cabinet approves rupees 2207.50 crore budgetary support to run CAPF IMS as a campus of AIMS Delhi. MOA signed between CAPF IMS and AIMS. Maharashtra CM Eknath Shinde inaugurates India's first LNG powered buses in Maharashtra. RBI imposed penalty on Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank and DCB Bank. Airtel Payment Bank unveils a new way to pay with a smartwatch. Axis Mutual Fund partners with Nparadigm for AI-generated learning program. DBS Bank India announces 250 million lending support for startups, new in the economy companies. SEBI note to 2T+0 settlements for limited stocks, ease norms for FPIs. CCI approval on 19 March 2024. India Brazil holds first 2+2 defense and foreign ministerial dialogue. Indian Army Gorkha Rifles participates in the 10th edition Joint Military Exercise L'Amitié means friendship. Indian Army introduced new tech unit Steak. Nixie and METI to unveil BhashaNet portal at UADA tomorrow for digital inclusion across the nation. REC, PDCL and BHEL signed MOU to develop utility-scale renewable energy projects. Third edition of Northeastern Games 2024 begins in Nagaland. International Day of Elimination of Racial Discrimination, World Poetry Day, Forestry Day, International Day of Navroz, World Down Syndrome Day, and World Oral Health Day. International Day of Happiness 20th March, United Nations French Language Day 20th March. World Oral Health Day 20th March. SIDBI's CMD S. Ramanna presented 2 books to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. All India Consumer Price Index number for agriculture and rural laborers. Padam Shri awardee handloom artist Kapil Dev Prasad passed away. Renowned Indian dancer Dr. Uma Rele was honored with Maharashtra Gaurav Award. T.M. Krishna selected for Sangeet Kalanidhi Award of Music Academy. Kiran Rijiju gets additional charge after Pashupati Kumar Paras resigns from Union Cabinet. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you learned a lot of things and gained a lot of knowledge with me in this session. And till the time we meet, take care, everyone, and see you soon.